is business as usual. We've started. The making money business has already started. So how are you doing today? So I'm here this morning to give you some headlines, what's making the rounds in the world of business, to help you so you know how to take the right decisions that will help your business this year. Today we are looking at this very interesting topic. It says that tough times for Nigerians as government grapples with high inflation, shrinking revenue and Forex crisis. That's 3-in-1 problem. That's where we are now. Nigeria economy may have been excruciating, snared in a doom loop with inflation, troubled currency market, uncertain deficit, funding crisis, persistent pressure on local businesses, and a lot of things. I could go on and on with the grammar, but we know what's happening. Will business survive this year? What will happen? It's all we want to discuss this morning. I have Segun Shokbita with me, joining me via the network. He's the principal partner, Woodridge and Scott Consulting. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, madam. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Good to hear your voice today.
Good to hear your voice.
Yes, sir. So now it's a fresh day, fresh year for a lot of businesses and a lot of us. But for a good business person, I know you would have planned what 2024 will be like for you. This is not the time to even start planning, because you should have done that. But if you haven't done that, we are here to hold your hand and to help you. Now, my first question for you is this: looking at the past year, 2023, how would you describe it? Was it a good investment year for investment communities?
Well, yeah, I mean, thanks for having me again, and Happy New Year to our listeners as well. Wishing everybody a fantastic 2024. And leaning, coming up that, 2023, was it a good investment year? I would say it was, in a measured way, not necessarily an outstanding, exceptional year for investors in terms of the returns that were achieved for the year, especially when you talk about investment in capital markets, maybe in the money market as well. But if you compare the returns that were achieved by the markets in Nigeria to some other parts of the world, and then juxtapose that with the economic challenges that we had to deal with in 2023, I would say, well, measured successes. The stock market, for example, ended the year on a very positive note. Was a very bullish run, leading up until the end of the year, starting from the time that the new President Bola Tinubu, announced some of his reform policies, the subsidy removal, the unification of the exchange rates, and all of that. The market seemed to have responded very positively to those policy initiatives and rewarded players with very generous returns, trending in the 20% percentile points per annum. However, I say measured because those economic challenges, unfortunately, that also arose as a result of some of these policy pronouncements, as well as the economic problems that we had already had before the president assumed office, may very well have eroded any gains that any investor may think that they achieved, in that year. If you look at inflation alone, for example, any investment that you are making, in the Nigerian economy in 2023 that did not exceed an average of 25% or thereabouts, you were earning negative returns in real terms. Because inflation for 2020, because inflation for 2023 averaged about 25%. We started 2023 at 21% and ended 2023 at 28.2. So if you just do a rough average of that, you are talking about 25%. So whatever returns that you gain from any investment, as long as you're in Nigeria, investing in the Nigerian Naira, then you made a loss. You made a loss because the monies that you got back from that investment would not be able to buy the things that you need to buy at current market price. So that's why I said measure terms. And then when you also look at what happened to the foreign exchange rates, and all of these other indicators, you find that whatever gains you may have made as an investor were eroded by the loss of value created by the devaluation of the Naira, as well as our galloping inflation rates. So it was a measured success. It wasn't a total failure, but should have been much better.
Yeah. Now, we have lots of issues that rocked 2023. We have the criticism that was voiced concerning the economic deals regarding Afrexim arrangement. Because when you look at that report and you see the loan that will be paying, it says here that we're paying 11.85% as interest on the $3.3 billion of the loan that we collected. That's on one hand. And another question that I want to add to that is concerning the 2024 budget appropriation, that's the budget, the concern concerning the revenue generation, all of that. Can you hear me?
Sorry, I didn't get the question. I heard part of what you said, but I missed out the question itself.
Okay, great. I said some of the things that rocked 2023. It was the loan that the federal government had to get so that to help our Forex. I'm talking about the Afrexim loan and the arrangement, and given that the interest to be paid is 11.85%, which is quite high. For a country like Nigeria to pay, given where we are right now. That's one challenge. And another one is, in what way does the 2024 budget appropriation, because it's raised concern, if you look at the budget, there's a concern there when it comes to revenue generation.
Yeah. Okay. So with regards to the Afrexim asset crude backed loan, it's especially in terms of the cost of that facility compared to comparable facilities that are being taken by other countries, even Nigeria, even other African countries, much less talk about facilities available from outside the continent. It raises a lot of questions with regards to is it our negotiating capacity? Is it our credit worthiness? What exactly are the factors that was behind us having to pay that's much higher than what you would consider to be our peers? And what factors are behind us having to pay that much higher than what is available in other markets, So it's a question that we need to ponder on as a country and demand answers from our government, because what this of course automatically does is that in terms of our debt service obligations, we're looking at significant variations, significant increases. 4%, a 4% increase, a 4% difference on loan obligations that run into the billions of Naira is a lot of money, so it's something to be worried about, especially for a government that is already struggling in terms of revenues, which also then brings, the other part of it, talking about our budget and the revenue profile within that budget. What you find is that if you look at the budget deficits that we're looking at for 2024, we're still talking about 9 trillion
Naira or thereabouts. First of all, in terms of the Fiscal Responsibility Act, the requirements of the Fiscal Responsibility Act, we're breaking the law because we're not allowed to have a budget deficit of higher than 3% of our GDP. So we're breaking the law. But aside from breaking the law, it's the fact that we're still relying so heavily on debt financing to fund our budget, contrary to the promises made by this administration upon assumption of office, especially by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister for the Economy, who had said that they would look at creative ways of raising revenues and would spend less and less on loans, to fund the budget. Well, here we are, we're looking at a deficit already of 9 trillion before we started. And if you put into consideration the fact that this is the budgeted deficit, and historically we have never achieved our budgets. Our budgets have always underperformed what is documented. The deficits have always been higher. Why? Because revenues have always been lower. We've always underperformed on revenues. So the government is projecting a revenue of around 9 trillion, if I'm not mistaken. And we have never, the federal government of Nigeria has never in history achieved that much. So where exactly would that 9 trillion, be coming from? Historically, we've seen the federal government achieve the highest I can recall is about 6 trillion in 1 year. So what is going to be radically different that would bring about, this significant jump, almost a 60% jump on traditional performance levels. So it means that our deficit is going to be higher than this 9 trillion that is already in the budget. And it's a real cause for concern, because what that also means is that we're going to have to borrow more. So it's almost like a debt trap. You are planning to raise a certain amount of revenue, you don't achieve it, so you have to borrow more, to meet that shortfall, which then increases your obligations, which then affects the revenues that are coming the following year, and then it just keeps going on in this vicious cycle. So it's something that we really should be worried about as a country, and one can only hope that the managers of the economy will be able to do something about this.
Yeah, talking about things to worry about, there's still the issue of the fluctuation of the Naira, the impact it has on the economic stability. We know that last year we had the up and downs, if not up of the fall of the Naira. Now it's a new year, and I know that the Naira is exchanging at above 1,000 Naira to the dollar. Now the question is, what do you see when you project into this word in the new year? What do you think about the Naira, what we are seeing right now? Is it now stable at the 1,000 and above in the exchange? Or do you think there's going to be a turnaround, maybe something better from all of what the government has on ground?
Well, I would love to be very optimistic. I would love to preach a message of hope, maybe a renewed hope. But unfortunately, the reality on ground doesn't support such messages of hopefulness. The reality on ground is that the fundamentals in the market have not changed. There have been a couple of moves or developments which I think are positive. I was reading the papers this morning, and I'd heard about that last week, about the government having been able to access $2 billion from the Afrexim crude sale facility, and those funds have been used to clear some of the forward contract obligations of the CBN with commercial banks. A small portion of that has also gone into making funds available to airlines. So these are good developments that ordinarily one would expect would have impacted the value of the Naira. And I think we actually did see an appreciation at the close of the week, last week. So we need to see more of these things. However, based on, all of the information available, at the fingertip, one will struggle to see how we will be able to meet the demand
The problem is a very simple problem. Demand is far outstripping supply to the point where devaluation is very strong. I mean, I was deeply disturbed to find that official rates actually crossed 1,000 naira threshold repeatedly, last week,
Yes.
late part of last year. Yeah, that is very, very worrisome. Because we're talking official rates that started the year at about 550, 600 naira to the dollar, just 2023. And then with the pronouncement of, the new government, we saw a strong devaluation to 750, to the 700, 750 range. And then, we're trending at around 850, which was bad enough. But then to have us cross 1,000 and actually hit 1,059 in the official market was very disturbing. Good enough as a result of some of these things that I spoke about, clearing up of some of the obligations of the CBN. We've seen a recovery of some sorts where we're now talking about around 900 naira to the dollar in the official market. Of course, we shouldn't even talk about what's happening in the parallel markets. It's absolutely crazy there. Because right now what's happening is that speculation has come back very strongly. People that are holding, dollars as a hedge against, the failing economy in Nigeria have come back strongly. And we've seen, therefore, a fall in the value of the Naira in the parallel markets, much more so than what we're seeing in the official market. So the outlook for 2024 on the back of all of these things is not very encouraging, unless the government does things very...
Okay, I think we're having a bit of a network challenge there, but I'll get to him shortly.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Yes. So unless we're able to do something significantly different that will ramp up supply in the market, we're going to see further devaluation. And of course, we all know what the impact of that will be on the economy. It can only mean further hardship for Nigerians.
From all you have posited, there seems to, no wonder you say you don't want to preach a message of hope.
I wanted to.
Yeah, but listening to
I wanted to, but we must not lie to ourselves.
My goodness. So listen to the analysis now. You could tell where we are heading there. If there is hope, it might be far. Another thing that we saw last year was the notable companies exited the nation last year, and notable Nigerian manufacturing companies manufacturing in Nigeria. We have big companies leave the country last year. So what are the implications of that? And in this new year, do you think other companies are coming in with the exodus of what happened last year of those companies leaving the country? Where are we now with all of that?
With human behavior, the herd mentality is a very strong factor in human behavior. Once one person does one thing, and it's not just a Nigerian thing, human beings just behave that way. Once one person does one thing, it gets others thinking about that thing, and they have to take a position on that issue. So what we're likely to see this year is we're going to see a lot more exits. And this will have multiple impacts. One, it means that a lot of the items that those people were producing locally will now be imported, which will then, of course, have an inflationary tendency. Those things will become significantly more expensive. Case in point is the inhaler, the famous story of the inhalers, the asthma inhalers that, moved from about 4,000 to about 45,000 just simply because GSK left Nigeria. So you will likely see very strong inflationary trend on the back of more companies leaving. You will see job cuts, job losses, significant impact on our unemployment and labor markets. You will see loss of revenue for the federal government. You would also see additional pressure on our Forex, on the foreign exchange markets, because a lot of these companies are not leaving Nigeria. They're simply relocating their manufacturing activities, but they will continue to import the products that they were making here before to continue to access this market, because Nigeria is a big market. They can't exit. Mm-hmm. So what you find is that these companies, will no longer produce in Nigeria, but will start importing, which means they too will join the market looking for Forex, which will then further deepen the pressure, the demand pressure on our currency and the attendant devaluation effect. So there's just no good news with regard to this, unless, again, like I keep saying, the federal government under President Tinubu must recognize that we are managing an economic crisis. We are in a crisis. I've been saying this for months. We're in a crisis, and it doesn't appear to me as though the managers of the economy recognize it. We need to be in crisis management mode rather than business as usual mode, and it appears as though we're still doing things as though everything is normal. They're not normal. So I hope that the president, the minister of finance, the CBN governor roll out policy pronouncements and measures that recognize that this is a crisis.
Now, before I open the phone lines and let you go, let's look at the president's track record. I'm talking about President Tinubu, the track record. What expectations, challenges that may rise in this new year? Looking at his track record, he's been in office for, let's say, about 7 months. Now, you could judge a person by their track record, not what the person says. But you look at the person's track record, you could tell where the person is going to. Now, looking at his track record from inception, his inauguration, what do you see?
Well, I see a president that is very eager to adopt neoliberal policies, free market economy type policies. Cut back on subsidies, cut back on perhaps an enlarged public spending in the hope that will drive growth in the economy. So the general tendency you would likely see from this president are policies and initiatives that would favor the markets and that would favor a free liberal economy on the face of it. And that will likely have a very, very negative impact on the welfare of the people of Nigeria. You can be a welfarist state that tries to be a free market state as well. You try and strike a balance, but I do not see enough of an effort from the president to strike a balance to ensure that the policies have a human face. I'm not saying that. But the other thing is that there are inconsistencies with the general idea that we're running a liberal free market economy versus a welfare state. So the pronouncement of the president would suggest that he wants to be liberal minded, he wants to be free market minded. But some of the actions that were taken below the table are inconsistent with this, and this can only create problems in terms of messaging and signaling, to the market. And whether local markets or international markets, and this is not good for Nigeria. So one would hope that this year the president will be firm in determining his stance. Are you a welfarist, like Buhari was very clear, or are you a free market person? If you want to be a free market person, go the whole hog so that we can then get the benefit in 2-3 years' time, even if a few people suffer today. But what we're having now is mixed messaging and a mixed bag of policies that is really not helping the economy at all.
Another thing that many Nigerians are hoping to see this year is the president being very tough on corruption, fighting corruption to a standstill. The Better Edu case, humanitarian ministry has raised a lot of eyebrows, like what is going on, and let's see how the president is going to tackle this to show that he's really fighting corruption.
We'll see that in a couple of days. He's already ordered an investigation. Let's hope that it doesn't go the way of most other government-initiated investigations. Let's hope that something concrete will come out of this. Let's hope that the facts of the matter will become clear to the public and that action will be taken if there are people found guilty. He's still early in his administration, so we're still watching.
Thank you very much, Segun Shukbito. It's a pleasure speaking with you this morning, and Happy New Year to you again.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
Yeah, thank you. We've been speaking with Segun Shukbito. He's the principal partner, Woodridge and Scott Consulting. We'll go for a short break, and when I return, I'll open the phone line and let's discuss 2024. What would you like to see? What policy would you like the government to implement, to bring up, do for 2024? We'll talk about that. Let's go for a break. I'll be back after this.
Are you looking for the perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos, number 42, Muritala Muhammad International Airport Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in a beautifully appointed rooms featuring all the amenities you need for a comfortable stay.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, our attentive staff is here to ensure that your everyday need is met. We also offer complimentary pickup and drop-off from the Lagos Airport.
Take advantage of our state-of-the-art fitness center, outdoor pool, and enjoy a delicious meal at our on-site restaurant.
With stunning views, world-class service, and a prime location, Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos is the perfect choice for your next vacation or business trip.
So, why wait? Book your stay today and experience ultimate comfort and luxury at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel.
Award-winning
Bookings
pizza
and
in the US
reservations,
is now
please call
here in
08
Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and Coldberry ice cream, delight in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and Coldberry ice cream at 11 Road by First Avenue, Festac Town, 28 at Denira Ogunsanya Street, Surulere, 13 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1. Romeo's Pizza and Coldberry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champions.
We understand that having no financial stability can be very frustrating as it limits your possibilities in life. So it's important that you take hold of your finances today. There are 1,001 ways you can get started. All you need is a guide. VOP has acknowledged this need and has provided a solution. Mary Onaife Debbie invites experts across various fields, and they are dedicated to helping you create lasting revenue. Join Business Around Town every week, Mondays to
building wealth and securing your financial future.
Yesterday's business cannot be today's business, unfortunately, so you have to definitely be ahead of the game.
Join Mary Onaife Debbie as she takes you through in-depth interviews with successful entrepreneurs, financial advisors, and industry leaders.
This is the first time where the oil prices have gone high, but our revenues have nosedived. And the government is saying we don't know.
The internet is the biggest leveler out there for business.
A lot of them are scared that this technology is secure.
Gain valuable insights into the world of investing, as well as practical advice for managing your finances, growing your business, and achieving financial freedom.
There's been a lot of trending issues that has to do with businesses.
Whether you're an experienced investor or just starting out, Business Around Town has something for everyone.
Small, medium businesses are the weight of most of these economies.
So tune in and
You're listening to Business Around Town on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. The phone lines are open for you to call in. Let's talk. 0700 903 903 903. We just discussed with the analyst some of the major events that happened last year and projecting to this year to see what's really going to happen. One of the things we discussed was the Naira is what policy, what do you think this administration would do that will help businesses this year? If you were to suggest to the president that, okay, this area, it could be the area of tax, it could be the area of fuel subsidy removal, whatever, it could be the area of what to do with the Naira and all of that. So I would like to hear from you. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. Or you could send in a WhatsApp message. 0700 903 903 9. That's for the WhatsApp. So call in and let's talk. Another issue here, a prominent one that is not going away. I thought by now would have ended a conversation on this issue. It has to do with Naira note scarcity. Now, the scarcity has been on for a while now, for more than 2 weeks. This crunch has worsened because banks now, they ration cash across the counter. So if you go to the counter, instead of you to get your 100,000 or your whatever thousand you want to get, 500,000, whatever the amount you want, they will ration it. And that has affected transactions, because if you want to use POS operators, they've increased their charges. So that's in the news now, because the fresh development in the financial sector have shown that despite the CBN move to stop the cash crunch situation by suspending charges for cash withdrawal, this scarcity is still there nationwide and is getting harder. Okay, 0700 903 903 903 is the number to call in. Let's talk this morning, or you could send in a WhatsApp message. I have a couple of WhatsApp messages here that I will be taking that speaks to all of these issues. Someone says, good morning to you, Mary, good to have you back. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Okay, you wanted to just tell me Happy New Year. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you. What's your name and location?
I'm calling from Shomolu.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to complain about the ration of money.
Okay, go ahead.
At the bank.
Okay.
Especially on last weekend, I went to Zenith Bank at Eco. Almost all the ATMs counter are not dispensing money. And that's so painful, because it cannot be you have your money in your account and not be able to collect it to do some certain things. I'm supposed to pay for something. Thinking of it at the ATM, none of the ATM machines are working. So there are so many questions going to. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for calling to share your own experience, because that's what we're talking about. The crunch is still there. People is still happening, and it's what is the cause? CBN came and told us that a lot of people were withdrawing money that was last year, end of last year, and that's why we had this. And now it's still there. So the question is, what's the cause? Is it going away anytime soon? What can be done about it? That's one of the questions that's being asked right now. So you could call in 0700 903 903 903. Remember, the question I asked was, what policy, what area do you think the president, our government need to work on? What policy, what areas do you think the president needs to work on that will help our economy? Yeah, that's what we're discussing. What area? Another news making the round is in the Daily Trust newspaper. It talks about another news making the round says Tinubu's 57.8 billion rice palliative raises dust. That is another point of concern. We'll talk about it. Okay, now in the Daily Trust, it says here that the 57.8 billion naira worth of food palliatives approved for members of the National Assembly by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for onward distribution to their constituent is raising dust. People are talking about it. Why some lawmakers confirmed receiving palliative. They said to be worth 200 million naira for senators and 100 million naira for members of the House of Representatives and others. They've denied it. And this is just as many constituents across the country are accusing the representative of hoarding the items. Now, this is a talk right now. This is what people are talking about. Now, the presidency, while showcasing Tinubu's scorecard in palliative disbursement in Nigeria, had revealed that each senator got 200 million naira worth of palliatives and 100 million naira for each member of the House of Representatives that are supposed to share to their constituents. Now, going by the data released by the presidency, the food items approved as palliative for all of the 469 lawmakers, the 109 senators, and the 360 House of Representative member amounted to 57.8 billion naira. Now, collaborating the special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Nanuga, in a chat with reporters, clarified that Tinubu did not send the money to the legislators. Let me go ahead to quote him. He said, ask the Ministry of Agriculture to provide the food items to them. Each rep member is to get food items worth. So they didn't give money, food items worth 100 million naira and senators 200 million naira. Now, investigation by newsmen indicated that many of the lawmakers had received bag of rice from the ministry and had begun distribution to their constituents. Now, while also the presidency confirmed that some lawmakers are yet to receive the items owing to logistic problem. Now, the clarification here is that they didn't give them money. Not money. Money wasn't given, but food items were shared to all of the senators. I gave you the number: 469 lawmakers, 109, making a combination of 109 senators and 360 House of Representative members. That makes up the 469 lawmakers. So the money, 57.8 billion naira, wasn't given to them per se. It was the food items, which bag of rice, according to what Bayo or Nanuga said. So, but some senators haven't collected yet because of logistic problems, why some have collected. Now the question is, those who are collected, did you see them share this rice? Did they give people this rice? So that is what is raising dust now, that if you gave them the rice, why haven't we gotten our share? I have someone calling. Hello, good morning to you, sir. Hello, good morning.
Hello, baby. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Good morning to you. What's your name and location?
This is Remy from Makoka.
Okay, Mr. Remy from Makoka, go ahead.
If there's anything to write about this administration, it's a government of propaganda. From the beginning to this moment, it's been propaganda. We were told by October or so they'll start giving out the conditional transfer also, as they called it. Up to this moment, I'm not sure. I've not seen one person till this moment that has received that money. I don't know if you have probably met anyone that has received that money.
Yeah.
The letter said, you said what?
No, I'm listening. I'm following you. Okay. Go ahead.
Then later they said by December they'll start dispensing the money. Up to this moment, same thing. We were told they will remove subsidy completely. Later on, we are here. They are still subsidizing in a way. We were told if I'm not working at a point, as it is now, none is working. The last thing we were told that they've completed, there's a mechanical completion, or what's the term they used to qualify it? one thing I know is this: no government can thrive on propaganda for long, and that can never translate to good governance. That was what we experienced in the 8 years of Buhari. There was nothing they didn't promise us. They told us dollar will reduce from certain amount to 1 naira. Finally, we start talking by 2019. None of the promises, none was kept. So the immediate administration, they are doing the same thing, towing the same line, filling the air with propaganda. You could tell all their decisions are just based on impulse. It's not well thought out. You can tell it is not well thought out. Look at the decisions they've been making from day one. If truly they have a plan, they have a manifesto, why can't they work with the manifesto they have? You could tell they were not properly prepared for this. It's not as if I don't want this country to work. If it works, it will favor me as well.
Yeah,
but the decisions they are taking, the steps they are taking are quite opposite what we should be expecting. Even your last guest, he couldn't, when you asked him some questions, he was trying to be positive, but the reality on ground was quite the opposite. So let's keep on hoping. Hope is the only strategy we have. So let's keep hoping.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Hope is a strategy. Do you think hope is a strategy? Interest 0700 903 903 903 is the number. 0700 903 903 903. In case you're just joining, you're listening to Business Around Town, and we are talking about issues that concerns us and concerns our business, looking at some of the news making the rounds in the world of business. And Monday morning, what a better time to discuss government policies and how to make money than a Monday morning. So we've talked about some of the issues that rocked last year. We are looking at some of the policies, some of the areas that you think the government can work on that will improve our businesses. I want to hear from you. That's the question that I asked this morning. What areas do you think the president can work, maybe improve, do something about? And that will improve businesses this year. Let's talk about that. So 0700 903 903 903. Now back to the news I was discussing before the phone call came in. We have more calls. Okay, sorry. Let me take this call, then I'll get back to what we're talking about. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning to you. Turn down the volume on your radio. Yeah, I can hear you, but where you are is a bit...
My name is Promise. I'm calling from Maviliku.
Okay, Promise, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I want to contribute to this matter.
Okay.
When you look at the newspaper of this morning, every time, what you keep on hearing Nigerian news, corruption. How long are we going to continue like this? But it baffles me. Most of you that people educated, instead of looking, you cannot read the handwriting of the wall. Nigeria, I was listening to this man, Mr. Unadi Kanu. He said Nigeria have broken into pieces. So we supposed to be looking to see how to break into here and let them take the country, let everybody move ahead.
No, promise. Hello.
People are dying every day.
Okay, listen, promise. The question was, what areas do you think can be improved upon? What areas do you think that government can work on? We are suggesting right now. That's the question. We already know the problems that we have. We know. Thank you very much for calling. Your UI is very noisy. Thank you for calling. I appreciate you. So we're trying to proffer solution. We're working. It's a new year plans and all of that. What area do you want to see development? What areas do you think that can be improved on that will make things better? That's the question. So when you call in and you're talking about the, we all know where we are. We're looking for a way out. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. What's your name and location?
My name is Mr. Theophilus. I'm calling from Ablega.
Good to have you, Mr. Theophilus. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. First of all, let me congratulate people in the station.
Thank you.
I think it's given us the chance to voice out our feelings.
Thank you very much, sir.
I know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say this morning. Some people may not like it, but I have to voice out my mind. You see this country called Nigeria, my sister, let me tell you, 75% of Nigeria are tired of Nigeria. Now, the government in power, when the former government was about to leave, this present government told us they are going to continue on where the path of this situation left Nigeria. See what we are facing today. And this government, they promised us heaven and earth. Sometime last year, the first lady came out and was telling the whole Nigerian that her husband is not a magician. Now, what is the hope of Nigeria? This present government, they are confused about things that they have anything to offer to Nigeria. They are just giving
so
us.
You don't have any suggestion, any contribution, like what the government should improve on, what they can do, all of that. You don't. Yeah, that's what we are asking.
Okay, wait. On that aspect, if we will give them advice, will they take it? They will never take it. They have what to do on their mind. For example, now my sister, I said that some people may not like what I say. In the country that comprises more than 250 Nigerians, one person come out and tell the whole Nigerians, local, if you vote or no votes, I don't already enter there. What do you expect us to say again? His opponent has already told us everything that they have what to do. Whether we vote or we don't vote, whether we advise or we don't advise.
Right now, you don't have any contribution or anything that he could improve upon to make the country work better.
Advice to give them. Even I have advice. If I give them, they will not trade. I would like them to know what to do on Nigeria to make Nigeria better.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Not less. Now the question. I hope we're not missing the question. The question is, what areas do you think that the government can improve on? Is a suggestion. I know, like the last caller saying that there's no need because they won't take it. No, don't say that. Don't say that. Just they're listening. What areas do you think can be improved on? What do you see and all of that? Let's have that conversation this morning. 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good morning. Hello. Yeah, good morning to you. Turn down the volume on your radio set.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear. What's your name?
Yes, this is Mr. Promise from Afuluka. I'm still calling back.
You can talk twice. You've spoken before.
Don't listen very carefully. I want to give you answer today. Please listen very carefully, please. You said hello?
You have few seconds because other people want to talk.
Okay. You said what is the way forward? Very simple. You can see most neighboring countries, any corruption, any leader that found with corruption, let me go back immediately. No settlement. I was listening to radio this morning. They said the people sponsoring Boko Haram, they have given their name to the governors. The government, we have not done anything about it. Who is deceiving? Why we continue? This is just make me the vet.
Thank you. Promise, relax. Thank you very much for calling. I appreciate you. You gotta relax, man. Drink water and relax. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call, or you could send in a WhatsApp message to us on 0700 903 903 9. Remember what we are talking about this morning. Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning. Turn down the volume on your radio set. Okay, sorry. Please call me back. I can hear you. 0700 903 903 903. Now back quickly. You have few minutes. Now talking about the 57.8 billion naira rights palliative that is raising dust. They've been clarified. There are clarification here that it's not that the president gave them the money, but it was rice. It was rice because it was the foodstuff. Special advisor to the president on special media, Shegun Dada, posted on his X handle. He clarified that Tinubu did not give cash to the National Assembly members as palliative to the people in their constituency or senatorial districts, that he did not. He said the president through the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, only distributed rice and other food items. Hello, good morning.
Hello. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. What's your name and location?
I am Ebo John Tai. Ebo John Tai is my name.
Okay, good to hear from you. Go ahead.
I hear the caption of your program where the government should improve upon it.
Yes, that's it.
Okay. And this is particularly federal government, is it?
You're correct.
To me, as an individual, personally, I see this as mockery to us Nigerians. The caption of that program is mocking us. Because I know that government know much where.
Hello.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Are you hearing me?
I can hear you now. Now I can hear you.
So what I'm saying is that the caption of this program is a mockery. It's mockery to us Nigerians because government have not improved on any side. To say yes, we have improved in a lot of side. It remains. Tell us where else. Does it mean government don't know we need improvement in electricity supply? The government we need food stuff that inflation is so high and it's on our neck, killing Nigerians. Inflation in every form. Government don't know all this. Let them improve in this side. Does it mean government don't know that we need basic amendments in Nigeria? We have no health scheme. We have no health. Our hospitals are debt trap. You can't go to hospital and you are sure you are going to be treated correctly. All these are the sides we need government to improve on. Health, even education, power supply, road network, and so many infrastructures. Could they improve in any of these sides? Even one or two of them were all right. Hello?
No, I'm here. I'm listening. I'm listening to you.
So having all this beside government and around them, and they've not done anything on it, and it seems there is no even effort, or it seems they are not even regarding or remembering all those sides. And then today you are running a program asking us to suggest where government should improve upon.
Thank you.
Yeah, are you not just mocking us?
No, I'm not. Thank you.
You are mocking Nigerians.
I'm not. Thank you very much.
You are really mocking us.
Thank you very
so
much.
change the caption of this program, please. It's mockery to us. Very big mockery.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. It's not a mockery. This is reality. Now, I have a message from Remy from Akoka. Said the Tinubu APC-led government should reduce cost of governance drastically, put an end to oil theft, improve the economy and security, obey rules of law, the rule of law, and strengthen our justice system. etc. Will they listen and adopt this the solution preferred? We both know the answer. Remy from Akoko, thank you. I appreciate you. Now another person said, please let you and your colleagues in the house to begin jingles in an attractive way to tell corrupt people to return their loots immediately. Please help me beg them in the name of the Lord. I'll tell Ojediji to come up with a good jingle that it could use to tell the people that have looted money to please return the money. So that's a work that he will do. Thank you very much for being part of Business Around Town today. We've talked about some of the news making the rounds in the world of business, some of the policies and happenings in the business world that rocked the economy last year, and we're hoping for the best this year in our businesses. Now, I'll be here again tomorrow. We'll be talking exports. Hopefully, I'll have a Godwin Oyefeso, and we'll talk wealth creation tomorrow. So, thank you for being part of the program. My name is Mary Onaife Edebi. Coming up next is Area Matter. Keep it here. We are the voice of the people, 90.